to No Love Lost podcast. I'm your host, Medigi.
What's going on, fellas? It's Vert Vangel, two-time champ. I sound like I'm a little muffled today. I'm under the weather. I've been under the weather since Saturday, but just trying to get through it.
Being sick is not cool, man. Been
Nah,
there.
man, that whole house had the flu last week.
Not good for business.
Finally hit me Saturday.
Mm. It's always worse when you get it. You're the last one to get it. Everybody's like, man, look at this guy. He's all sick and stuff. Look at him. He's being sick. How dare you be sick after we're fully healthy?
Hurting.
So, yes, week 14 is over. Let's go over the It's like it was just like yesterday. We just had a draft.
Last week of the season, man. Last week of the season, and it didn't disappoint.
It did not, especially with the standings when everything's all said and done. It's crazy. Every year it's close. Every year. Of course, we go over my matchup first. I lost to Stevie. Man, it didn't start off well. Jaden Reed scoring 0 points, and Green Bay ended up losing 31-34. You would think, he had some type of production, but he had zero, absolutely nothing, and which ended up factoring in the matchup. I had another key injury that happened versus him. Irving hit like 2-3 touches, and when that, especially going against Stevie's roster, his guys go off. Tyreek Hill had 30 points.
Tyreek Hill's back 2 weeks straight with 20 plus.
Yeah, Adam Thielen. Even the last minute change, because I thought he had Etienne in his lineup, but he ended up with Ray McLeod with a solid 16 points. And I mean, dude, Jalen Hurts only throws the ball for 108 yards, but runs for a TD and passes the ball for two TDs and ends up with 24 points.
He's an automatic 20 piece.
Yeah, easy. 20 piece. In his sleep. It's like I don't even know if I think he's a running. He's not even a quarterback. He's a running quarterback. Wow. Like I don't even know. Like doesn't even make freaking sense. But which affected me in the ranking, not in rankings, but in the standings. If I won, I would have been first seed. But with me losing and another couple things shaking out, end up being the fourth seed, and we will have a rematch going to week 15.
Yes, sir. You guys will revisit this matchup soon.
Yes, sir. Vic, you played
the rock fight of the week.
The rock fight.
Myself versus Monty. And I'm just happy I escaped this week.
That's a good word, escape.
I had players on bye. Monty had players on bye / hurt. It was a rough matchup. I think the highest score in this matchup was Jackson Smith and Jigba with 19 points. That's the highest score this weekend.
That's tough.
In this matchup.
That's tough.
Yeah, just happy to get into the playoffs 2 years in a row. New slate. Everybody's record's 0-0. So looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. Next matchup, we had KT and Steve. Yo, I fell asleep on this matchup, man. Like I think it was midway through the second slate of games. I'm like, oh wow, KT really got a chance to beat him. But then, I mean, Shakur went off in the second half, and then things started turning really quick. And Steve put that dream and killed that dream really, really fast. So disappointing.
Yeah,
KT couldn't steal a victory.
Another week, KT's under 100 points.
Yeah, man, it's been the story.
Yeah. It's like you said, it looked promising, and then Cole Kmet gave him a donut. So that got to hurt.
That definitely got hurt.
I was watching last night's game. there was a few Cooks catches that got called back for penalties, so that kind of hurt.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess we'll hit this a little bit later. But under 100 points weekly, it was like everyday occurrence, like
I
every
think
week occurrence.
Kalu touched on it on the chat. His like points was like 1,300.
1,300, which could be season low. I would have to dive into the league records and see if that's an all-time low. Because if that's an all-time low, I mean that's another accolade you can add to your bag.
1,300. We'll do it later on the show, but I just put 1,300 divided by 14 weeks. It's 93 points per week,
Which is what has been happening. Like, that's not gonna cut it. It's just definitely not gonna cut it. Yeah, man. We can discuss.
let's go
later.
from let's transition to the low scoring talk to high scoring talk. Ja versus Kevin.
Yo, Kev tried to do it one more time for the Snapchat, man. Yo, he tried to do it one more time for the Snapchat. He was like, you know what, man? Let me send this guy packing and see what happens. But again, just like sums up his year, he just couldn't get the job done. KT said it best a couple podcasts ago. Magic copyright is over.
It's just, oh man, Ja just went off, man. Just Zach Charbonnet, 40 points.
Easy 40 points.
47 for Jamar Chase. Burrow at almost 30. Just a good, solid all around. Not good, solid. A great way to end the season for Ja.
Yo, who did he trade for James Conner again?
That trade was with Monty. Give me 1 second. Let me pull that up.
For Kev's roster, everybody had a pleasant day at the office, except for Mahomes. Damn. Rashad White, 25 points. It's wild.
I should know this too because Ja had brought it up that we didn't talk about it not as much. Let's keep it moving, Matt. And then, I'm on the background. I'm gonna check this out.
It was Moore, DJ Moore.
It was a straight up trade or other players?
Straight up.
Okay.
Straight up. But yeah, there you go. And then last matchup of the evening. No, not last. I'm sorry. So we also had Moose take care of business against Kalu, 144. Dude, I told you ahead of time. Yo, Moose been really, really quiet, right? Past couple weeks, this world got shocked. But all of a sudden, right? Gets a bye, gets a win. Who's the first person to start talking?
Hey, I love it, man. I am
bad, man. Do you really love it though? Like
I do. So, I swear.
So no, but like, yo, you're a guy that preaches consistency.
Like, what are you mad that he's talking? Or are you mad that he when the going got tough, he just disappeared?
That part. I'm not mad that he talks because I actually find it very entertaining, and I think it's good for the league when people do that kind of stuff. But it's like this league is always hard on people when they go silent. When the going
you got that, Jadilson always catches that heat.
Watch out! Well, you said that because he's gonna get mad. Watch out! He might say something in the chat about that. You better relax. You better slow down, Vic. You might want to take that back.
Man, I feel
you might want to take that back. You take it back. You better. We'll have to cut that out of the podcast. Don't watch out.
All right. Well, Moose, I just felt like Moose went quiet for a week, maybe 2 weeks, and guys were like ready to come for his neck versus like being quiet and non-existent for a whole season.
It's
I guess.
So one I called him out on it some weeks ago, and
You did?
he's like, "Hey man, I'm just trying to bring the heat to the league, man. I'm just trying to keep it entertaining, man." And then all of a sudden he went quiet, and all of a sudden it's like, "Yo, all right, Mr. Entertainment, delivering the injury news, all this stuff." I didn't even get a Bucky Irving report. I'm waiting for the Bucky Irving report.
The injury news stopped with J.K. Dobbins' injury.
Yeah. Oh, so when it happens to you, it's like, oh no, you know what? I'm just gonna sweep it under the rug, and people get at me for like, oh, I push back the basement this, da 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 da, and then I accept it. Then all of a sudden, people start bringing all that old stuff up, like I didn't accept it. Like, oh, like choose to ignore when I actually admit to something, right? But when something like this happens, it's like, all right, you know what? Nah, it's just Moose because I like him. You know, he's a very vibrant guy. He has good vibes. He was just quiet for a couple weeks, but then you sense a trend, right? You sense a little trend when he's like, oh, you know what? He's up top again. Then all of a sudden he's like, I'm King Kong now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but a couple weeks ago, J.K. Dobbins, ooh, guy's knees getting hurt. Oh man, I gotta tone it down because this is the thing you were talking about earlier in the chat, like the voodoo stuff we were talking about, right? You were talking about, oh, just because you started talking a little bit, now bad stuff starts to happen. It's like, oh, you know what? Maybe I brought that down on myself because I was talking too high. That's what I feel.
That's voodoo though, man. You know, maybe Moose believes in voodoo.
Yo, dude, that's just funny to me. It's just very funny to me.
Maybe he, you know, a few years ago, I went on a journey looking for peace, and I found peace. So I don't believe in that voodoo stuff no more. And I try to
but you're the first guy to talk about voodoo though, Vic. Come on.
Because I see a lot of guys believing in voodoo, so I'm trying to help guys out. Maybe you guys need to go search for peace. You know, go out there.
I don't believe in voodoo. I don't believe in voodoo, man.
Yesterday it sounded like a lot of voodoo over here. He was already claiming, not even claiming because he didn't even get a bye. Steve's gonna get a bye. Like, come on, you know Chase Brown. One more touchdown, he was in there.
Dude, realistically, 35 points on a Monday night.
He had 24.
Yeah, he was 12 points off, man. 9 points off.
He had what do you mean 9 points off? He's right there, man.
It's not. Yeah, it looks on paper. It looks realistic, but like when you're actually watching the games, like you only
that's a catch and a touchdown.
Yo, the butthole gets tight, and plus it was 12 points. He was off by 12 points. Your butthole gets tight when it's like you're down by like 2 or 3. And trust me, I know. I've been there. On both sides of it. I've been there. So it's like 12 points is like whatever. But down by 3, 4. Sorry, Moose took my heart away, right? So
we got last matchup. Fletch.
Then the last match is George was like, he felt like he owed the league so much that he wanted to score 174 points to just go off with a bang, and he did. Unfortunately, he's 8-6 and didn't get to make the playoffs, which sucks. Yeah. Everybody can't get a lollipop at the birthday party. What's up?
I don't think it sucks.
Hey, you know, it's
either me,
doesn't get a lollipop at the birthday party,
him, or Stevie.
Yeah, it's just how the cookie crumbles, man.
But
and then the Cinderella ride for Fletcher has stopped. He's been a great competitor, great addition to the league. They're never gonna make a trade with him after. It's like it feels like every trade that he made worked out for him very, very well. I don't see that.
I didn't realize his defense gave him -9 points. I mean, it wouldn't have made a difference, but
speaking of that, we might have to change. We might have to revisit that in the offseason. I just realized we lose. Yeah, we lose mad points off of yardage.
I don't mind it, man. Oh, I mean, like the point system for defense.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, if you look at it, like I think we lose like a certain amount of points when we total up yardage.
Yeah,
We might have to revisit that because some of the stuff doesn't make any sense. But we will visit in the off season. But George had a good thing. Oh, we're actually gonna move on that to the next spot. I mean, everybody knows who made playoffs now, right? Janoson's first seed,
first seed for
Mo-
Ja.
Moose's second seed.
So both of them get the bye.
Get the bye. Then we have Steve, myself, Stevie, and yourself. Um, well, I just want to give a hand. Well, a good hand for everyone that participated this season. It was great. I know we still got playoffs and championship and stuff, but the effort has been 100% really good. Had some ups and downs. Marcus was a great addition to this league. I hope when we have our vote to have him officially in the league, hopefully it goes well for him. I'm sure it will. The guys that's in the playoffs now, man, good work, but a lot needs to be done in these next 3 weeks. The guys that won the bye week, congratulations. And I was just joking in the first half of everything, but hey, everybody deserved to get where they are for putting the hard work from the studying and the draft and all that good stuff, and then doing the in season work, which is the toughest part of the game. So, hey, good work, and hey, it's time to put that work in. Man, I feels like I haven't been in the playoffs in a long time. Well, I haven't been in the playoffs in a long time, so it's like,
Welcome back. First time, what, 4 or 5 years?
no, come on, man, don't. It was like
It was
3
like 4
years.
years? I think it's 4, bro.
No, I've been in the basement 3 years in a row, man. 3. I thought it was 4, then I had to go back and I
Okay.
checked. It was actually 3, but whatever. It's all in the same. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7
Nah,
plus 10 equals 17. I don't care. Like
it's definitely not the same, bro.
yeah,
Definitely.
man. Yo, honestly,
Being in the
man.
basement for 6 years compared to 3, definitely not the same, man.
Yo, bro.
Yeah.
Man, it's a lot of work needs to be done. I'm happy to be in the playoffs and it's good, cool. But like, man, I have a lot to prove to myself. Being so piss poor for these last 3 weeks. I mean, 3 years. Just my vision of fantasy has changed a lot. Let's just say that. Um, some of the stuff doesn't make sense, but whatever. This is why we play. I'm glad I'm in the playoffs, but like, whatever. I'm not gonna throw a party about it. This I need to go. I feel good about my squad, and let's see what happens.
I mean, before we go into the next segment, I just want to touch base again. We did last week. Moose brought it up today in the chat. For the guys that did not make the playoffs, remember, you do not put a claim tonight for players. After waivers have passed, you can go and pick up guys that are not on waivers. So, when you go into players, you're going to add a player. If there's a yellow mark, that means you cannot add him. Be mindful of your drops, of what kind of players you drop. This is the playoff. I'll even say, like, I hate to say it this way, but if in doubt, reach out to somebody in the league and say, yo, what do you think if I do this and that? If you have any doubt in your mind. I mean, let's be real. I mean, the people that did not make the playoffs, you're in the toilet bowl. Your current team should be enough to compete in the toilet bowl. I mean, yeah, if your quarterback gets hurt, breaks a leg, yeah, you can go get a quarterback, but you have no business trying to compete. Not compete, but you have no business, like, for what? What run are you going to go in? Just set your roster and play and get your W so you're eliminated from the toilet bowl.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you shouldn't have to make any claims, man. You shouldn't have to. Put your starting roster out there. When in doubt, reach out. When in doubt, reach out. That's it. It's just not. It's been a thing that's every year, man. Like, I've been in the basement 3 years. I haven't done any claims or nothing like that. Like, let the players play and all that good stuff.
And I'm just gonna
Yeah.
also add, like, after this week, there's gonna be players eliminated. You'll also fall into that bucket. Once you're eliminated from the playoffs, you're in that bucket of just set your roster and compete. You don't need to pick up players.
Yeah. And then that's all. Yeah. That's all I got.
So Matt, let's look into the matchups we have.
You want to do matchups or you want to do?
What was you thinking, Matt?
Yo, you know I'm an educator, right?
Yes, sir.
So I was thinking, man, teams have been eliminated. I think we need to put a little progress report. What do you think?
Let's do it. How you want to start this?
All right,
You
so
want to start it from
come on, easy targets.
worst.
Yo, we're going straight to KT, man. So guys, me and Vic were talking about this. We felt like doing a little progress report on the teams that are eliminated, and that will continue on for the rest of these podcasts. Also, whoever gets eliminated, we're going to give you a progress report for the year that you had. We'll give you your pros and your cons.
Should we call this a progress report or a final eval?
Final eval. Final eval sounds better because progress report is the middle of the year. We already did that. So the final report. This is if you take with this information, you can choose either to use it or be offended by it. That has nothing to do with us. That has a lot to do about you. So, Mr. 2-12, Mr. KT, pros, Chuba Hubbard, great pickup, awesome. That was fantastic. Isaiah Pacheco, you couldn't do anything about that problem. So that's a wash. That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah,
pros. That's all I got. Being 2-12, you're not gonna get too much of flying colors, man.
I don't have much. Yeah, I don't have much to add.
So okay, so then that means his cons.
To me, it's a straight up F. Just I just see players on his roster he never dropped that should have been dropped. I see players that just gave him a horrible season.
Awful. Yo, I'll tell you what. He stuck by Mark Andrews for a long time.
Yeah, but some play like nobody could have seen that coming. I mean, if Mark Andrews, if I would have had the opportunity to draft Mark Andrews, I would have drafted Mark Andrews, but nobody would have seen that coming. So that's fine. But like, I mean, I'm not a fan of Pittman. I felt Stevenson with the O-line situation was tough. It's just, I don't know, man.
Josh Downs is another positive also. I'm sorry.
Who?
Josh Downs was a positive.
Was he really? He was like hurt. Had a few sightings.
He was solid. He was okay.
It's a straight F, man. Right now I'm looking at his season schedule. I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 out of 14 matches, he didn't score over 100 points.
Just to dive in more with that F, because that F just seems like F is everything. His draft was piss poor. His draft was awful. In season management, I think that's gonna fly to the top of the list of things you need to do in the off season to get better. And there's no real simulation you can do about that.
He in season management, that's the one that really was a killer for me. I felt like, he could have made some moves early in the year, like you could have got out of that Mark Andrews situation. Even if you got you didn't get equal value back because of Mark Andrews' name, but you could have got something. You could have took a gamble out of player. Out of player, you felt like, yeah, this guy might be all right. I'm trying to think of somebody from the top of my head. Yeah, I felt like he could have done a move like that, but he waited too. Even the trade he did, he waited too long.
Waited way too long.
Like the season was already away from you. Yeah, I just did. He averaged for the season 95 points a game. I just did his average right now. And
He's stuck by Geno Smith way too long.
And believe it or not, let me see. Sorry, sleeper on the desktop, it's not the greatest. On the phone, it's A1. But on the laptop, it's not, in my opinion, not the greatest. So I have to keep going through my phone. So yeah, he's in the middle of pack of points scored against. He's in the middle of the pack.
Yo, but to be honest with you, bare bones, when you're looking at the whole, at least when I'm handing out this grade, I'm not even looking at points. I'm not looking at points for, points against, because that's stuff you really can't control. The thing you can really control is your roster. And I feel like
I like looking at points against, because you can't control the schedule, you can't control who you play or however much points is scored against you. But I think it gives you a picture of I don't want to say luck and unlucky, but it gives you a picture of what was you against.
Okay.
Like for example, KT scored 95 points a game, but he had the most points scored against him. You can be like, he just had still a bad season, but a little tough on his end. But
okay,
middle of the pack, it's just like, I don't feel no sympathy for your season.
Okay.
So that's why I like looking at the points per game for him and the points per game against him.
I can understand that. I can see that and understand that. Yeah, and that's unfortunate for KT. You have anything else to add to this report card? Evaluation.
Damn. Let's go to the next one, man. I don't want to catch what KT has.
Next, on our student roster, Mr. Kevin, International Kevin. International Kev. Let's see. I felt like his draft was okay. He was all right. He definitely hit some home runs with Kittle. I did not anticipate this dude being like the top tight end in fantasy. Darnell freaking Mooney.
Come on, man. Kittle's year in, year out. He's always top 5 mix.
Top 5? Yes. I didn't know he'd be the top one.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know he'd be the guy.
I thought this year was. I don't know. I thought this year was up for grabs. I wasn't much of a Kelsey believer. Obviously,
I thought McBride would be number 1.
Yeah, McBride was in the mix for me. Mark Andrews. I didn't see Bowers having the season he had as a rookie.
But George Kittle, number 1 home run. Darnell freaking Mooney. For Rachaad White, for what he did, he was pretty solid. He's a consistent guy to work on your roster. Overspent on Tank Bigsby. Definitely anticipated him having more of a role in what he was doing. He spent a lot of $5 on that. Kyron Williams was solid. Rico Dowdle took a while. Patrick Mahomes was the fail of his draft.
I think that was like the downfall of Kev's team. I forgot what round.
And Brandon Ayuk got hurt also.
Yeah. Did he have another injury?
Not coming off the top right now.
He didn't have Christian Kirk. Was that Stevie?
That was Stevie.
I mean,
Jerry Judy coming on late.
I think Kev. I give Kai. I give Kev like a C minus, almost like a D plus. I think his team throughout the season showed glimpse. He had some pretty high output weeks that his team dropped some points. Then he had some abysmal ones. He averaged 124 points per game, and he had the second most points scored against him.
Oh wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, the second most points scored against him.
Wow.
So if you're looking at a week-to-week basis, 133 points was scored against him at an average.
That sucks. Been
Yeah,
there.
so that's why I'm being nice, giving him a C minus / D plus.
How do you feel about his in-season management?
Kev was never the one to really make trades. I thought with that Ayuk injury, he could have utilized the trade. He had pieces there. He could have made a trade. I expected of more in season management.
Okay, so I guess he can take that to the bank. He spent all his money, but I felt like could have done better. I guess hindsight's 2020, but I would say I'd give him like a C minus or a C. Kalu Mendez. What do you got on his little score sheet?
Oof.
Pros, I will say that drafting Jacoby Myers.
You didn't draft Jacoby.
He didn't draft him. He picked him off of the wire.
I drafted Jacoby.
Wow, and he picked him off the wire.
I drafted Jacoby, and I ended up dropping him. I forgot for who. Oh, I think I dropped him for Kareem Hunt.
Okay, that's actually a solid. That's a solid pickup.
Yes, and then Kalu ended up picking him up.
Yeah, that's a solid pickup. That's a really the George Pickens draft pick was really good. He stayed with them for a while. I think he really popped when Russell Wilson started throwing the ball a little bit. I feel like AJ Brown has underperformed. So has Jaden Waddle. He's picked up a little bit now, but
so I don't have no issue with AJ Brown or Devontae Smith. I'm trying to like articulate this as best as I can. And this is for my personal preference. Everybody plays fantasy different. My personal preference, I do not like drafting or having players, especially wide receiver, same positions from the same team. I feel like if something goes south with the quarterback, if he gets hurt, that wasn't the case in Philadelphia, or the scheme changes, instead of taking one loss, you're taking the 2 double wins. Your quarterback gets hurt. This is just an example. Your quarterback gets hurt, and you have wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2. Guess what? Now both your wide receivers are hurting because they both play for the backup quarterback now. So that's why I'm not the biggest fan of having wide receivers from the same team, a wide receiver tight end duo from the same team. I'm not. If it happens, it happens. I've done it before, but I'm not the biggest fan of doing that because shit changes, and now you have 2 potential like red flags on your team. And I felt like that was the crutch for Kalu this season. He expected first round numbers from AJ Brown. Yes, AJ Brown was hurt, but then there was weeks, not a lot, but there because Smitty was hurt too. But it was weeks. If Smitty goes off, it goes into AJ Brown's numbers. If AJ Brown goes off, it goes into Smitty's number. And on top of that, you got to feed the monster. You're not going to stop feeding the monster, which is Saquon.
Mm.
So, more than anything, comparing him to Kev, I do feel like he had the potential when AJ had a good week or Smitty had a good week to pull a trade off. They're both big names. You would think like, all right, Smitty had a good week. There's more good weeks ahead. Same for AJ. He had the best opportunity to make a trade and change his season around, but he didn't. Another thing that I think he had a great draft. But another thing, this goes back to in-season management. There was points in the season. He had he couldn't drop nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah, like key pieces on his bench. He had players on hurt. That's coming, big name coming back. Like he had TJ. He held on to TJ Hawkinson for like a month or so just to drop him. He had to drop Addison because he had other key pieces on his bench that were hurt. Like he had Chubb. At one point, he had Chubb, Waddle, Brown. Obviously, he had Hawkinson. So he had to make some sacrifices that were tough. Yeah. So same with Kev. I give him a C-, D+. The C- is more of the in-season management, not the draft. I think draft-wise, he did good, minus drafting 2 wide receivers, in my opinion, from the same team. But his in-season management, I think, is really what buried his
I believe that would buried him too. That's why I'm going a little higher than you. I'll give him a C because I feel like the in-season management, the 3-4 quarterbacks, rostering 3 or 4 quarterbacks.
I didn't bring that up.
Yo, that's negligent. Like you don't do that. You don't do that. Especially
now we're in the playoffs. He can't even drop one.
It's like, bro. And like this is not a QB premium league where you get like 50, 60 points with a quarterback. Like this is a league that people don't even trade for quarterbacks. There's a couple guys that traded quarterbacks this year, but they were top tier guys. Like 3-4 guys on your bench that play quarterback. You got to reevaluate it. You know what I mean? So there's other play. You're better off having one backup quarterback and the rest guys as meal tickets or lottery tickets or something like that. Like I don't know. And I do see it as like you as well. I think he could have done a couple trades to help his situation, but that
I know to Kalu's defense, he's never the one to really make any trades ever.
No, that's just him as it is. So it's like maybe that's something he puts in his tool shed. Maybe he navigates, or maybe he just does something different. Next, Mr. Monty Valls.
Ooh. Yes, sir.
He, in my personal opinion, coming into the season, I thought he had the best team, especially the first couple weeks too. I thought he had a team. I was like, at one point, I'm like, oh damn, this might actually be the year where he might go all the way. Then I feel like after Rashee Rice got hurt, a whole lot of things just went on and it just tanked the season. He went from like a major competitor to unraveling, like slowly unraveling. I believe the first trade was the first trade that he did Dak Prescott or Jalen Hurts.
I believe so. He traded Jalen Hurts.
Let me see. I'll get more accurate data. So yes, his first trade of the season was all right. He received Keenan Allen, Dak Prescott, J.K. Dobbins, and traded off Jalen Hurts and Goddard. I'm not saying that was a bad what he received, and he received $30 in fab money. No, he gave away $30 in fab money. I'm not saying that the haul was bad. I'm not saying the trade was bad. I'm saying that, and I actually understand it too, because quarterback is one of the easier positions in this league to make up your footing. But like Jalen Hurts, we just spoke about it with Steven. He's a walking 20 points rolling out of bed.
Yeah, but I don't really mind that trade because Dak Prescott last year was fucking on fire.
Yeah, he was. He
So
was.
I felt like I'm getting equal value of something better
And
with Dak.
J.K. Dobbins was really good at the beginning of the year, and Keenan Allen was like a question mark. And again, it's not what he got. Like, all right, so it was in totality. I think he won that trade because he gets Brock Bowers later. That's not even the biggest issue. So, boom, he does that trade. Then, um, he trades J.K. Dobbins for Brock Bowers. That was solid. Brock Bowers. I had no idea Brock Bowers would be the Brock Bowers we got now.
Yeah.
And then he trades Diggs for Raheem Mostert, Hunter Henry, and Tank Dell. I don't have a problem with that one. And then in between these, because I'm looking at stuff, in between these, he has mad drops and pickups.
Connor.
Then he trades away Connor for DJ Moore and Trey Tucker. And I know context is everything, so it's like I'm just running through the things that he did. Like in that trade, that was the trade that he did after Rice got hurt because he felt like he needed. I'm assuming that he needed a wide receiver, right? This is when it went south. Trading Keenan Allen and A Chain for Deontay Johnson and Jordan Mason.
Yeah. That was tough. I mean, we discussed that in the chat. I don't like, I said in the cast, I said in the chat, I still stick to my guns. I didn't really like that trade. Knowing CMC was coming back, yes, he got hurt again, and there was a high chance of him getting hurt again. We don't know. We had no idea what Jordan Mason's injury history was. Mm-hmm. He's just playing now, but at the end of it, I mean, the whole thing is a wash. Everybody got hurt. Jordan Mason got hurt. CMC got hurt.
Yeah, everybody.
Deontay Johnson's irrelevant. J.K. Dobbins got hurt? Did he send?
Yeah, eventually, J.K. Dobbins got hurt.
So,
and honestly, with all those trades being said, I thought his pickups I thought his in-season moves were really solid as far as like claiming people. Think sometimes I thought he overthought it.
Yeah, he took the words out of my mouth. I was going to bring up like this past weekend. At one point, he had Isaiah Davis in his lineup, and I was low-key worried about that because my research during the week, a lot of people mentioned Isaiah Davis. People like the people I follow, they're pretty spot on. So they were like saying like it's going to be a 50-50, and Isaiah Davis is explosive. So I seen that, and I seen Braylon Allen. I'm like, man, both of them can give him a solid 15. Both of them could give him a solid 14, and then I don't know what happened. He just dropped Isaiah Davis. He just dropped, like legit. It was in the start line. He just dropped Isaiah Davis, and I don't know who he picked up, who he put in. But yeah, I'm with you, Matt. I think his draft was one of the best. I'm gonna catch a lot of flack saying this. I'm not stroking Monty. Matt, myself, we own this guy, and Jamar Chase is going off right now. Yes, he's going off. He's going to be fantasy player of the year, non QB. But I wholeheartedly believe Rashee Rice was going to be wide receiver player of the year.
Oh yeah,
there was no question about it.
There was no question, no question about it.
Please, Janilson, don't come for me. Don't get in your feelings. I don't stroke men. Like, I'm not stroking you, bro. I'm not stroking Monty. This is just my true feelings. Like, I think
we own the guy in the Como Energy League.
I think Rashee Rice, like his target share and his snap, it was out of this world when those 3 weeks he played for Kansas City. And the way Kansas City is working right now, like he was the engine. he was what Travis Kelce was prior years to that offense. Everything was funneling through him. The run play was getting was getting set up through Travis Kelce. The offense was getting set up through Travis Kelce because you got to worry about him. Now you got to worry about a slot receiver taking the middle of the field. You got to worry about Rashee Rice. Everything was getting set up through Rashee Rice, and nobody could stop it.
First 3 weeks, 19 points, 18 points, 31. What makes you say he couldn't continue that? That's
big, strong, fast, shifty receiver. I mean, like I said, I'm not stroking, but it was his season could have been completely different.
Absolutely.
That's why I give Monty a B- for the whole year, and the B- is I think his in-season moves were too much. I think he made a lot of transactions that hurt his team at the end.
Yeah, it makes it a little trend. I'm one above you, man. I'm giving him a B. I'm giving him a B because, man, if he just didn't overthink certain things, that makes him a playoff team, quite honestly. And it's like good for him, man. We got 2 more. Fletcher. Mr. Fletcher. I'm gonna be honest, man. Once he did his draft, I'm like, yo, look at this guy. What does he think he's doing? I thought he reached for some guys, quite honestly. And I was like, all right, whatever. But then his players started playing games. Joe Mixon is probably the steal of the year. Has to be. Let's see. Let's go inside the numbers. Yo, and he missed 3 games, right? He started off the year with 28, 8, missed 3 games. Then he had 29, 28, 25, 18, 17, 37, 9, and 24.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just on bye week. Steal the freaking year, man. Steal of the year. He traded. He had a couple trades. I had a trade with them. I think both those bounced out.
Landon Jacobs,
Josh Jacobs to his team really solidified it and actually gave him a potential to make a run. He did have some ballsy starts by starting MVS, Jonnu Smith. People screamed, had a fit when he traded Etienne for Ladd McConkey and Baker Mayfield, and it looks like he's making out all right. And Keenan, and he ended up with Keenan Allen, picking up Jonnu Smith after Khalil dropped him. What more can I say about this guy? He was short out of the playoffs. I mean, how much quarterbacks did he have in his roster? No, he only had 2 quarterbacks on his roster. I'm trying to poke holes through this thing. He had a good body of work.
Yeah.
There's one time he spent like $25 on a quarterback, and I think this. Come on, man.
I think
25.
you know what? I think that's him being green to the league.
Yeah.
He's seeing money being spent, money being thrown. So he's just trying to gauge. That's him understanding what the gauge is spending and
Oh,
foul.
my bad. He spent $25 on Madison, so that's not bad. And then he spent 30 on Marshall and Lloyd at the beginning of the year, and I feel like he held on to him just because he spent $30 on them. He had Marshall and Lloyd for like a good solid, I don't know, like so he picked them up. He waived them September 13th, and then let's see when he dropped them. He dropped them. Where did he drop him? Where did he drop him? He dropped him October 18th. Held him for a whole month when he was on IR. Yeah, dude. Um, I feel like I think he did a really good. I think he did a really good job, man. I'm not gonna even front.
I'm gonna give him a B. I didn't really care about his draft. Um, I did. I didn't really care about his draft, but his in-season management was really good, in my opinion.
Yeah, for
Especially,
someone that came into the league talking a lot
yeah,
of
first
too.
year here, first year in the league. Solid contributions to the league. Yeah, he did his thing. Almost made the playoffs. Was right there to the final week. So I give him a B.
B. I'm gonna give him a B. I'm gonna give him a B. And last but not least for today, George. George. I thought George had a really good draft. Puka not being healthy most of the time, I think really affected his playoff chances. Um, Josh Allen was really good. Najee Harris was consistent. He got away with the trade. That was actually, I think it was a little. I thought the trade was a little overrated. He did score 40 points right after the trade, but after that, he was like 10, 12, 14 type points. He did some. I don't see any pickups that really uh, poke out. I think the David Njoku draft pick was solid. I know he has a Xavier Leggett. Is he solid? Honestly, I don't really see any in-season moves that are like other than that St. Brown trade, but like can't forget that he didn't have CMC for the whole year. Pretty much, he only had him for like 2 games.
CMC, he was missing Puka for a good portion of the season.
So he weathered the storm really well, despite what the schedule was. Yeah, I feel like there was only one real move he did. I don't see any waiver pickups that he did that really pokes out, Vic. Unless you want to correct me.
I'm gonna give him a B minus. The reason I give him a B minus, George has shown before that he can weather a storm and set his roster up, make a run like he did last year. So I wasn't shocked he did that this year when he had the injuries at the beginning of the year. You know, he started off the year, majority of the beginning of the year, without CMC, Puka, and Njoku. I'm pretty sure I'm missing someone. I would just like to see more. Same with KT, that trade was a little too late. In my opinion, a little too late. And, you know, yeah. what's his name? Amon St. Brown, only had one good week on his roster, but just the potential of facing him if you made the playoffs and him going off for 30 or 40. He has that ceiling.
Yeah.
So, I give Georgia B minus.
And he did pick up Rashad Bateman. He was solid for a couple starts that he had. Also had Robinson subbed in for him. And I got to give him credit for weathering the storm. I'm going to have to put him in the category of like a B minus, C plus. Just because that Aaron St. Brown trade should have been done earlier, man. I think that would have propelled them into the playoffs like easily. Um, yeah, but other than that, I mean, weathering the storm through those injuries and stuff, like that's no easy fret, man. That's very very hard to do. And George is a seasoned vet out here, and I definitely want to give him credit for that. Even though my grading is a little tough, but I think that's just a mixture of the in-season moves, not the draft, because the draft was really good. The draft is really good. I will put the draft at like a B, and then I meet in the middle with like the C plus as far as with the in-season management piece. Um, yeah, man. I mean, we're not gonna go over anybody else because we'll do that next week. But let's go over these matchups really quick, and then we could leave these guys alone. So I play Stevie this week. It's a rematch. Everybody's back from bye, so it's just gonna be ready to go. I'm feeling good about my team. I've been feeling good about my team since day one. Um, I'm going for the W. I'm feeling good, and I'm ready to win, man. I'm ready to win. I'm ready to go to the semifinals. I'm ready to go to the finals. I'm ready to do this thing, man. So I'm feeling good, Stevie. I'll see you this week. That's how I'm
Nice.
feeling. How about you? You
I'm playing against Steve, Dolphin Steve.
Yes, sir. Mister, I don't care about a bye week. Mister, I don't want a bye week.
I'm just ready, man. I feel like the stars and planets are aligning. Feel good, bro. Going in this week like butter. Feel good.
Yeah, man. Let's see what happens first week of the playoffs. It's been a long time coming, but we here. We here, and let's see what happens, man.
So before we go, I want to give a huge shout out to Janilson and Moose on their bye weeks, first and second place. I also want to give a shout out. Well, we want to give a shout out to Janilson. I believe he's the highest scorer.
He's the highest scorer, and
yes,
he has the highest scoring player by 7 points, Mr. Jamar Chase.
In soccer, there's something called the treble. I believe in baseball, it's called baseball. There's a triple crown.
Yeah, triple crown.
So the treble
home runs,
is when
RBIs.
The treble in soccer is when you win European soccer. That's creme de la creme of soccer. Is when you win the top accolades of the year as a team. So right now, Janelson's won first place, got his bye week. That's one accolade. Second accolade, most points. Third accolade, he won Fantasy Player of the Year. Now he needs the championship to complete a historic season in the books here. And this will be the second championship.
What?
Yeah, it'll be the second championship, right?
He's on a quest for a second championship. He's on a quest.
So right now in the playoffs, we have Ja going for a treble in his second championship. Moose going for his third championship.
And he's trying to go back to back.
And back to back. That has not happened yet in this league, a back to back championship. Matt, second championship. Myself, third championship, fifth final appearance.
Yo, why do you gotta add that? The fifth final appearance.
Well, I mean, you can add whatever you want to add to yours, man.
Yo, no, but I'm just saying, why you gotta add that? Why you gotta add that?
That's an accomplishment.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You didn't see Kevin today? Kevin added George went to 3 championships.
Yeah, but he's saying I think he was trying to make a point of saying,
Yeah, he went
yo,
to 3
no one
championships.
remembers the 3
second.
championships that George went to. I think he was just trying to make a point.
All right, I'm going for my third championship. I don't know why guys feel a certain way when I talk about my.
No, I'm just asking because I know someone's gonna ask. So like,
yeah, I have a lot of pride of what I've accomplished in this league. I like to talk about it, just like Janilson likes to talk about his shit. Everybody likes to strut their shit, but when I strut my shit, it's bad. But and then the Stevie and Steve, they're both going for the first championship.
Wait, hold on. I won a championship. I've been to this one. I think I've been to 4. No, 3. Wait. I played Kalu. I played Don. I played Moose. No, I've been to 3. So if I go to this one, it'll be
4. So add that, that's your 4th championship. Add that, man.
Nah, I just want to win, bro. I just want to end up in a 3-game winning streak. That's what I want. So that's all. But that's enough for today. It was a long, jam-packed podcast today. Hope you guys like the progress report or the evaluation. Don't take it personal. And if you do, tough luck. And hey, in the basement, we study hard, man. We study hard and we grow in the darkness. You nearly adopted the darkness. But thank you, people. Have a good night. Be good. Have a good rest of your week. And good night. Deuces.
God bless. Pray hard.
All right.